For those of you who don't know, this is a picture of Terrence Bud Crawford. Terrence Crawford is the black one. He's sparring with Leo Martinez. Martinez is a super middleweight that is 16-0 with 13 KOs. Terrence Crawford is sparring Leo Martinez to prepare for who? At first I thought it was Canelo, but there are talks that Canelo is leaving the PBC. So now, the name that people have been floating out there is David Benavidez. I don't know how true this is. This is a rumor. But on the grapevine, in the streets, people are saying that Canelo might be leaving the PBC. And if Canelo's leaving the PBC, he probably won't be fighting PBC fighters. Where does that leave Terrence Crawford? Terrence Crawford is training to go up to super middleweight. We all know that a lot of people who want a fight with Canelo, they have to go through Benavidez. I don't know where Benavidez's name got mixed in the mix, but people are saying that Crawford could potentially be fighting David Benavidez. To me, this makes no sense. And I know that Crawford is crazy, he believes in himself. Against Canelo, he had a chance, but David Benavidez, that would be just pure madness. And David Benavidez doesn't offer the money of a Canelo, so I don't know where this narrative is coming from. Avery, what's up? I gave Crawford a 0% chance of beating David Benavidez. I gave him a 40% chance of beating Canelo. Who you think Saul fighting next? People are saying Jaime Munguia. They believe he's leaving PBC, going to go sign with DAZN and fight Jaime Munguia. If Canelo leaves, why not just fight Crawford? Y'all both indie. People said that he was going to fight Munguia and then come back and fight Crawford, but I don't know. No, KJ, they're reporting Charlo and Canelo for May. Yeah, but they're also reporting Charlo and Plant for June. So we're going to have to wait until tomorrow when Canelo makes his announcement. Whoever jumped in the live and was tapping that screen, liking the live, you did that immediately. I appreciate that. Crawford versus Tank is the biggest fight to make. No, it's not. I hate to break it to you. And Tank would never do that. Ring Magazine confirmed it. Ring Magazine ain't confirmed a damn thing. Tomorrow, we're going to wait and hear from the horse's mouth. And then after that, y'all can giddy up and go buy y'all fucking tickets. I'm very interested to see what Crawford can do against David. You crazy as hell. Darrell, Crawford can't do a goddamn thing against David Benavidez. That's why I said I don't know where this rumor came from. It was on Twitter. People were saying Canelo's leaving the PBC. Crawford is training with Leo Martinez. Leo Martinez is super middleweight. They said he's training for either Canelo or David Benavidez. I'm trying to figure out the missing link. How did David Benavidez get put into the mix? Crawford has a 0% chance of beating David. David is way too big. That would be career suicide. The picture is getting leaked makes me think it's going to happen. Well, no, that's not David Benavidez in the picture. That's Leo Martinez. But on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, they said Bud will be fighting Canelo or Benavidez. Now, why is Benavidez getting thrown in the mix? I believe it's because Canelo is leaving the PBC. There's talks that the PBC wasn't able to give Canelo guaranteed money. Would this fight be at 168? It would have to be. David can't make no damn catch weight. Benavidez is too big for Crawford. I agree. If you in here, make sure you tapping that screen, liking that live. Canelo Alvarez will take on Jamal Charlo May 4th in Las Vegas, per Ring Magazine. I've seen that. Someone else said Canelo is retiring, but I seen that. So all that is just a bunch of rumors going around. People trying to get views. People trying to go viral. But when I seen David's name pop up, I said, bruh, I understand Terrence Crawford believes in himself, but this would be career suicide for him to try to go and fight David Benavidez. The fact that he was trying to go fight Canelo, he was crazy in and of itself. But for him to go fight Benavidez, this would be out of his mind. This would make me think that maybe after his career, he has to go seek psychiatric help. If it's retirement, I know you're going to be happy as hell. Yeah, if Canelo retires, it'd be great for the sport. No hating shit, no funny shit. Like, if Canelo retires, it'd be great for the sport. Hey, hold on. I know it sounds crazy. It sounds like I'm hating, but I'm not hating. I'm not. Somebody said say music. I'm not from Memphis. I don't say music or nothing like that. But yeah, if Canelo retires, it would be great for the sport because Canelo has been holding up the super middleweight division. He's been holding on to all the belts and not making big fights happen. Listen, I'm not hating. Y'all in the chat say, oh, you hating. No. Check this out. If Canelo retires, that means David Benavidez has a chance to become undisputed. Because guys are going to be fighting over these belts. A lot of these young cats who are at super middleweight, who are talented as hell, David Morrell, David Benavidez, they're going to be able to duke it out. As opposed to Canelo holding the belts and ducking smoke. My man said, no, KJ, I don't like Canelo either, but you hating, not going to lie. Finding joy in Canelo retired is crazy. Listen. You don't understand, bro. I want to see good fights. Canelo has been holding up the sport of boxing for years. It's not about hate. If Canelo hang it up tomorrow, it'd be great for boxing. I would be happy. Like, he had a great career. Now we can see how great David Benavidez could be at 168 because now David could actually be fighting people and become undisputed, and then he can go to light heavyweight. It's not no funny shit. They don't hate, bro. I'm sad, like, for real. David is not big. Canelo fought Callum Smith, who was 6'4", and he was 5'7". Terrence is 5'8". Listen, David is big, bro. Callum Smith is sticks and bones. That was a horrible comparison. Callum Smith is a skinny, lanky guy. And a lot of times, he's so lanky, he can't even keep his balance. Canelo was knocking him all around the ring. Canelo could never do that to David Benavidez. He's too solid. It's not about the height. It's about the width. And I dare say the girth. Pause. Eventually, I think we will get the Bivol versus... Yeah, we're going to get the Bivol versus David. KJ, you know who Diego Pacheco... Yeah, Diego Pacheco is big. The only thing I want to see is Canelo's announcement fighting Benavidez and then retiring. Canelo would never fight Benavidez. That's the announcement right here. He would never fight Benavidez. Somebody said Loma B. Haney. Sandy Nunez, I want to let you know that I no longer have that argument or debate anymore. If you want to believe Loma B. Haney, fine. That would still make Lomachenko 18-2. There's a chance tomorrow's announcement is Benavidez. There's no chance that tomorrow's announcement is Benavidez. I will bet money on that. Canelo will not fight David. If you're in here, make sure you like it and loud. Terrence Crawford will fight David Benavidez before Canelo does. That's a bar. That's a bar, bruh. Terrence Crawford is the fighter Canelo wish he was. Terrence Crawford to fight Benavidez before Canelo does. That's a bar, boy. That's that heat. Yo, give me a beat. Somebody in the chat, give me a beat. Terrence Crawford is the fighter Canelo wish he was. Terrence Crawford to fight David before Canelo does. Oh, shit. KJ, your scorecards are funky. Hell no. They sparred. No, they didn't spar. That's Leo Martinez. Crawford is getting ready for the super middleweight division. But he may not get a chance to fight Canelo because people are saying that Canelo is going to be leaving the PBC due to not getting his guaranteed money. So now motherfuckers talking about Crawford fighting Benavidez. If Terrence Crawford were to fight Benavidez, it would be crazy. Like, I would know for a fact that man is out of his mother-loving mind. Benavidez should fight Munguia. Yeah, but they said Canelo fighting Munguia. See? Even in the chat they said that. Crawford wouldn't even become undisputed at 154. I disagree. Crawford has no business in 168. Even mid-fighters will mop the floor with Bud. Damn, that's Jose Salgado. That's Jose Salgado, bro. I don't know who that is, but that's Jose Salgado. Why is Canelo leaving? Money. Always follow the dollar bill. The dead presidents. Crawford should fight Munguia. That would be a good fight. It really would. But it wouldn't be a big money fight. Crawford want to cash out. Remember my boy from back in the day? Cash Out. He came out with that one song. He cashed out the industry. Got this condo on my neck. I'm cashing out. 36 souls down. Ride around with that Nina. Crawford trying to cash out. He don't want to fight no more fights where he's getting $1 million. He want to make $5 million, $10 million, $20 million fights until he retires because he's at the end of his career. He's at the end of the road. If you're in here, make sure you tap in the screen, liking the live. Canelo is the money fight. Canelo is the money fight, but they say Canelo is leaving the PBC. So Canelo fought Bivol and wanted a rematch. He is not scared. Canelo wanted a rematch, but he wanted a rematch on his own terms. Bivol said, I'll fight you at 168 for all the belts. That way you have no more excuses. Canelo said, no. He said, no way, Jose. No pun intended, because we all know Canelo is Mexican. Heard the same rumor about Canelo leaving the PBC. Yeah. It's a lot of rumors going around, because that's one thing I will have to give to Canelo. When you could say that I'm making an announcement tomorrow and everybody starts making rumors, that means all these people really are gathered around waiting at your beck and call, waiting on what you're going to say. So Canelo has power. In this realm of living, Canelo has made it to the station of a king. So shout out to Canelo. If Canelo were to say that he's retiring tomorrow, it wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing for the sport of boxing. Canelo got stripped of his IBF title in 2019 after refusing to fight his mandatory Derevchenko, a.k.a. a duck. Yes, Canelo has ducked many fighters. It is what it is. Or he's going to announce that he's going to leave the PBC and join Top Rank. Who knows? If he joins Top Rank, he'll fully own. But I heard that he might be doing a fight with the Zone to fight Jaime Munguia. KJ, can you beat Lubin? Lubin has taken a lot of damage, but I don't think about fighting pro fighters, being that I'm an amateur. I'm going pro next year. I designed my career. I have a plan for my career, and that's just what it is. Like, I've been boxing for, 3 years. I don't even have 10 amateur fights. With 5 amateur fights, I signed up for the Open, against, motherfuckers that had 60, 70 fights. I'm just that type of guy, but I realize this is about business, and you got to be smart. You got to make your next move your best move at all times. Somebody said, how old are you? I just turned 25. Why doesn't Benavidez fight Bivol? Do you think you could be a world champion? Of course. Do you look at some of the champions in the world today? Oh, shit. Oh, boy. Both of them good. That fight makes no sense. Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me, but people are saying it. I don't understand where Benavidez got caught up in the mix. Yeah, you got to go now with your age smart. Well, it's not necessarily about age, man. It's about promotion. It's about promotion. Lomachenko got an opportunity to fight for a title right into the boxing game. You know why? Because he had promoters. So the way that y'all look at boxing is different from the way that I look at boxing. I'm using my brain with anything that I do. I set it up to where I can't even fucking fail. I got the social media presence. If I don't become a champion, I still have more experience to make me a better commentator. If I do become a champion, that makes me an even greater commentator. You got 3 years on Kawhi, KJ, so you can do anything. KJ, I'm standing on business. Haney becoming undisputed at 140, then going up and whooping Boots. If Haney beats Boots, man, god damn. Trainers and promoters is a key for sure. Well, it's not necessarily trainers or promoters. I've been promoting myself. I got 31,000 followers on TikTok. I did that all on my own. Only person that helped me was God Almighty. Now I done moved over to YouTube. You understand? I train almost 5 hours every day of my life. If I get more money, I will be training 5 to 10 hours. But you know what I just got? I just got a guess. What's good, Wickedy?
What's happening, my bro?
Chilling, man. So look, I don't know where this rumor came from, but people said that Terrence will be fighting Canelo, but then they said no, Canelo's leaving the PBC. So motherfucker said Terrence has been training against Leo Martinez, a super middleweight who's 16-0 with 13 KOs, and training with Leo Martinez to fight David Benavidez. Wayne, hold on. Wayne P said, how many miles you run a day? Wayne P, I do 2 hours with my coach. 8 miles. Then I go do 2 hours by myself. I'm a bad motherfucker. I don't know how I do that. Let me be honest with you. But anyways, back to what I was saying. Terrence Crawford, they talking about this man could potentially be fighting David Benavidez. I think his career is suicide. I don't even know where this is coming from. I know Terrence Crawford has crazy self-belief in himself. So I hope that this is just one of those things that somebody pulled out their ass. But if this was real, how would you envision the fight going?
Honestly, that would be bad. Terrence Crawford would realize the difference between size and why we have weight classes. I'm telling you, he'll
Yeah,
realize
yeah.
that like Benavidez, he doesn't hit like a super middleweight. He hits like a heavyweight, from what I heard. Like he's got above cruiserweight power.
I think he hits
And
harder than Canelo.
Terrence, oh yeah, he does. He's physically bigger than him. He's a heavyweight. He's like 6'1", 6'2". He's a heavyweight
6'2", yeah.
size. Yeah, he's big. You know what I mean? So, people don't understand. Canelo's only 5'7".
All right, peace, Avery.
I know people, you know, people think Canelo's big because he destroys everyone. He's not.
Yeah,
And
Canelo is he's
Crawford would
undersized
see
for
the
super
difference.
middleweight. Canelo's undersized for super middleweight.
Yeah,
That's why Crawford has a
yeah,
good
he
chance
is.
against Canelo. I don't know where the Benavidez rumor came from, but if this is true, if Canelo's leaving the PBC and they're just gonna try to hurry up and make something happen with Crawford fighting Benavidez, this would be career suicide. This would be something crazy. And I don't understand how it makes sense business wise. David Benavidez isn't that famous.
Yeah, that's true. Would Crawford even be able to get up to a super middleweight?
No, he doesn't have
You
to
think he'd be able
necessarily.
to make that?
All he has to do is come in under the weight. So you could come
Oh,
into a
like maybe
super middleweight fight
165?
and be he could be 155. All you have to do is be under the weight in order to be qualified for the weight class.
Oh yeah, Amir Khan did that with triple thing. Or no, Canelo, I believe. Amir Khan did that with Canelo, I believe. Yeah,
Outside of
so yeah.
Canelo and the
Yeah.
heavyweights, nobody's that famous. I think Davis is pretty famous. Rio Inoue is
Ryan
very, very
Garcia.
famous on the other side of the world, and Ryan Garcia is extremely famous.
I hate to say it, but Ryan Garcia is the second most popular fighter in the world after Canelo. And I don't know how, but
I
I
mean,
guess
he's
on
up there.
social media.
I don't know if that's second, but he's in at least top five.
Yeah, because you know who I've spoken to before? And I don't know if it's. You don't like Ellie Seckback?
Hmm?
Do you like Ellie Seckback?
No, I don't know of a Ali Sekbek.
Really? He's ES News on YouTube. He does
Yeah, I don't
a
know
bunch
him.
of interviews. Really, yeah. I've spoken to plenty of time. He's friends with pretty much everyone. Like he goes behind the scenes. I've spoken to him plenty of times, and he's like, yeah, he's like, everyone I ask about, right, if they know Ryan Garcia, people who don't even know, who don't even watch boxing, know who he is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Because he's
told
this
him,
little
listen, I
Instagram
keep telling
star.
people that Ryan Garcia is the one selling these fights. Like Tank did well too because Tank has some fans and shit. So that's why that fight they both had a really good following. But right now, Devin Haney is about to capitalize off of Ryan Garcia's stardom. And for real, Ryan could have negotiated himself to be the A side because he's the one that's bringing in all the casual fans. So Devin about to get a nice big check with Ryan. He was able to be the A side because he has a better resume. Um, but Ryan could have negotiated it 50-50 for real, because without Ryan, Devin wouldn't be about to see the numbers that he's about to see pay-per-view wise.
Yeah, for sure. Let me ask you this, KJ. If Ryan, I'm just saying, if he beats Devin, will you give Ryan like his props and be like, all right, hey, he did something I thought he wouldn't do, and he won
I
a
already
title?
gave Ryan his props. Ryan has a great left hook.
Oh, you do? Or you? Yeah, you know what he does. It's a dangerous
Ryan has
punch.
a great left hook, and he is uh, physically capable as any boxer at that level, physically. But IQ wise, he don't have it.
Yeah, he doesn't have the knowledge. That's right. I ain't gonna bullshit. Yeah, he do. He don't got the knowledge, and that fight with him and Tank, he gave up. You know what I mean? Like he showed
Thanks,
that
Wayne
he.
P.
I don't know if that punch really hurt him that bad, but I hadn't seen that in a long time. He actually looked the referee in the face until he counted 10. Like it showed me
No,
that.
no, no.
Like,
Ryan made a business decision. Let me tell you something, man. Ryan could have kept fighting. The way that your body works is like your body will is plastic. The body is very plastic. It'll adapt to damn near anything. 'Cause the body is trained to adapt or die. Ryan could have gotten back up and kept on fighting. He didn't want to for whatever reason, but he wasn't necessarily that hurt. He thought about it. He looked up, looked down, looked around, and then he said, "Nah, I make too much money and I'm too pretty for this shit.
Yeah, yeah, he did. Yeah, that was a business move.
It was
And if he
actually
gets back
smart. I
in there,
mean, Jamel Charlo did the same shit. He just did it in a different fashion. Jamel Charlo got in the ring with Canelo Alvarez and decided, you know what? I'm going to survive into the final round. I will not be dropped. I will not be embarrassed. I will not be knocked out. He did the same thing
yeah,
Ryan did, except he made it look better because he didn't get he didn't get the TKO. He didn't get put on one knee. So there are many different forms of quitting. There are many different forms of there are many different forms of not being competitive. But just some forms look better than others. Jamel Charlo and Ryan did the same thing. John Jones, I'm like 5'10".
yep, yep. What's up? Is it Streak?
Yeah,
Or
T Street. What's up?
T
What's up?
Streak? Oh wait, I have another question. You fighters, they lose so much weight, and then they come in the day of the fight like 15 pounds heavier. How the hell do they do that? I couldn't do
It's
that.
just water weight. It's just water.
Wow. Really? That's wild. Like I've never been able to do that. Like they must. I guess they're eating tons of meals, a bunch of meals before the fight too, right? Which I don't think
No,
that's good to do.
it's just water.
No.
Oh, you talking about before the fight? Yeah, before the fight, some fighters that are out of shape, they put on a bunch of they drink a rehydrate a lot. That'll get them 10 to 15 pounds. Then they eat a bunch. That can give them anywhere from 15 to 20 pounds. That just shows that they're out of weight and they're probably too big for the weight class.
Yeah, when Triple G and Canelo fought at 160, I think it was the first fight. When I looked at the night of them rehydrating, Canelo was 182 and Triple G was 190.
Yeah, so that means both of them are out of shape.
Jesus
Even
Christ.
though they can fight and everything, and neither one of them are really doing their road work consistently. Not one of them are working out year round. So both of them. That's why Canelo could never beat somebody like Floyd.
Yeah. From any era, like it doesn't matter if this Canelo, the experienced one, would have never have beat Floyd. You know what I mean? Let alone the
Hmm?
one that, like an experience, like Canelo has a lot of, because a lot of people think, oh, this Canelo would beat Floyd, the one
Yeah,
that
a lot
has
of
all
people
these
think that.
belts. But no, he wouldn't. He wouldn't even
Nah,
touch Floyd, even as this Canelo.
this
His
Canelo will
skills,
be.
You
It'll
know?
be worse because this Canelo is slower.
yeah, his skills
Yeah.
got a little bit better after the Floyd fight, but it wasn't drastically enough to where he could go skill for skill with Floyd.
Yeah. For real. And if you put Canelo in other eras, he'll die against other like middleweights, like Marvin Hagler or Roy Jones, or even Thomas Hearns. Like they will kill him. Like if you put Canelo in different eras,
I don't know,
people.
man. I think that I can't just say that those fighters are all beat Canelo. Canelo can fight. Canelo's an all-time great. So one thing that I learned in the Terrence Crawford Errol Spence fight, you can't really say what's going to happen in these matchups because styles make fights. So if I don't see it, I can't just assume Marvin Hagler is going to beat Canelo or Thomas Hearns will beat Canelo. Especially when you consider the fact that he has tested positive for banned substances and shit like that. If everything's all natural, then I think Hagler wins. But boxing is never like that. If boxing is always some shady shit, always something that you got to be have your head on the swivel about. So I don't know.
Especially 15 rounds. Especially 15 rounds. Canelo's not going 15.
Yeah, 15. Now 15
Oh
rounds. That's a
wow.
great point. 15 rounds. Yeah, they all gonna whoop his ass because he doesn't have great stamina. Hey, Glow, thanks for liking the
Do
live.
you guys
Everybody
think
who's
that
liking the
Canelo's
live,
juicing?
thank you. Huh?
Do you guys think Canelo's juiced, or do
Yeah,
you think
yeah.
that's all natural ability? Oh, he's
I think
juiced.
that when you look at him at 154 and you look at him now, body is completely different, and he's failed multiple drug tests. So, and a guy named John Jones. Look how ironic that is. A guy named John Jones says he's not. So that just lets you know right there. That was fake right there.
So John Jones is juiced.
John Jones failed drug tests. He failed two drug tests.
Wasn't it a cocaine test that he failed or something? He had coke
No,
in his system, didn't he? Oh,
he had
it was
coke in the system, but
steroids.
that's not. He failed the steroid test. He had banned substances that help your performance. He failed those tests. He got away with it twice.
Wow. Fuck. See what I mean? It's sad about these elite people today.
Yeah, that's why I don't listen. A
You
lot of
think that
these
they're
guys are
just these
overrated. A
super
lot of them are
athletes, and then you
injured.
find
A lot
out,
of them are lazy. Like they don't want to do the shit that guys are supposed to do. Like you really are supposed to be going on, running a certain amount of miles every day. You know what I mean? You're supposed to be getting hours in the gym. A lot of these dudes don't want to do that, but they want to be on TV. They want the women, they want the money. So the promoters and the organizations, they allow the juicing. Hey, make sure if you're in here, make sure you
man.
liking the live, man.
You know, I think that should be illegal because what if one of these fools kills someone
They
because of the
don't care.
steroids
Wicked,
they're
Wicked.
using
You
in them?
didn't see my video with Antonio Margarito?
No, it's on YouTube.
No, it's on TikTok. Antonio Margarito, he had cement in his gloves, man. He had cement in his gloves. He got caught. They suspended him for 1 year. They didn't take this man to the court of law and try him for attempted murder. They suspended him for 1 year, and then they gave him his boxing license and allowed him to continue his career. Hey, to be, what his name? To be honest, I really don't care. Thanks for the hat and the mustache. If y'all got gifts, go on and send them to your boy.
You're talking about the Shane Mosley fight, right?
No,
When they
he
found
did
the,
that in
the
multiple fights. Shane Mosley caught him. Shane Mosley was the one that caught him. Cotto fought that man and had his brain all beat up by a man that had cement in his gloves. That's attempted murder. Do you understand that they gave him his boxing license back? They allowed him to continue to compete in the sport. Do you? Because they don't give a fuck. Boxing, they do not care, especially if it's somebody that they like. They thought Antonio Margarito was all this, that, and a bag of chips. So when they find out that Superman isn't real, when they find out that Superman is on steroids, Superman is putting cement in his gloves, they want to still believe in Superman. They can't take it back. Most people, they cannot get over the first impression. I think first impressions are very important. Most people do not have the intellect to get over the first impression or to admit that they were wrong about something. That's why boxing is so dirty. These fighters know that if you could become a hero, if you could win over the crowd, even if you cheat, the crowd will still fuck with you after they find out that you cheated because they believe in you at some point. And Wicked, when you ain't
yeah.
talking, you got to mute the mic because I don't know what was your.
Yeah, sorry, I'm outside. There's a bunch of cars.
No, you good, man. You good.
Yeah, Canelo definitely. I don't know if he's taking steroids, but he definitely done used something for his endurance. Because that's what Clenbuterol
Listen,
said.
listen. If somebody get caught on one thing, Lord knows what else they're doing. You know what I'm saying? If you get caught for one thing, if I'm a thief and I get caught stealing $1 million, you caught $1 million in my house, how much money do I got buried outside in my yard? How much money do I have in offshore accounts? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
Somebody
a
said, why
fact.
you think Floyd didn't fight Margarito? Think he had inside knowledge? Brandon, a better question is, why do you think Floyd didn't fight Pacquiao? The reason Floyd was able to go undefeated was because when Floyd saw these fighters cheating, he avoided them. He said, okay, this motherfucker is cheating. Let me tell you something. When Floyd became Floyd Money Mayweather, he could afford his own testing called USADA. So everybody that Floyd fought in his 30s, when they were in their 30s, he made sure that they could not come into the fight on no type of drugs. So even if they was taking drugs months ago, for the 2 to 3 months that they was fighting Floyd, they had to pass that test. Shane Mosley had to fight Floyd clean. Pacquiao had to fight Floyd clean. All of these guys. Guerrero, I don't know if Guerrero was ever suspected of doing anything, but they all had to be subjected to the USADA testing that Floyd paid for. That's why Floyd was able to go undefeated, because he used his brain, he protected himself. Tex Maddox said that's not true, but he didn't come up with no facts and evidence. He just came up with the cap emoji. So Tex, if you say that's not true, then I want to know. I want to know why you say that's not true. I want to know some facts, man. Because this is the intellectual sphere right here, the intellectual space. To be honest, I really don't care. Thanks for liking a lot. Somebody said a lot of motherfuckers be beefing because they lost the bet with the 49ers. That's fact. A lot of people they in their feelings right now because of that. Somebody said it's not true. Somebody said you 100% on point. Thank you. Floyd used USADA to inject his hands. Yeah, yeah, yeah. USADA is the reason why Floyd was able to go undefeated. He made them motherfuckers get drug tests. He was drug tested. Pacquiao was drug tested. Shane Mosley was drug tested. He made sure that they had to respect him. They had to put respect on his name.
Took all the padding out of his gloves. Do you think he was really trying to?
With no padding. So after the
Shane Mosley.
literally a lot of what Floyd did was Floyd was blessed from the Lord because Floyd always caught people before they were able to cheat. He caught them a lot of times. Like he caught Maidana with them cheating ass gloves. He caught Pacquiao. He caught Shane. He made them get drug testing. If it wasn't for these events, Floyd Mayweather probably would have lost to one of these cheaters. And Miguel Cotto, he lost to Antonio Margarito, a man that had cement in his gloves.
Yo, what's good, my man?
It was good, MVP baby was good.
Not much, man. I appreciate Floyd. Like, he's a great fighter. He's like easily, I'd probably say he's top two, and he might be one. But my man, every time I see you, you glaze the hell out of that man, bro. You be glazed.
All right, MVP baby, tell me how I glazed them just now or in any other point.
Because every time you bring him up, you're like, oh, when he became Money Mayweather, like you compare him to other fighters that you're like kind of like not degrading, but criticizing, and you're always like bringing up Mayweather as he's like some type of perfect fighter. Like, oh, see, when Mayweather used to do this, he used to be
All right,
perfect.
so listen. Can you give me an example so we could build off of that?
Yeah, like Devin Haney. Like Devin Haney's a great fighter, but just like like how you say, oh, he doesn't knock anybody out. Oh,
I never said Devin don't knock nobody
well, he
out.
doesn't, but like you were comparing him to Mayweather, and you're like, oh, when Mayweather was his age, he
Yeah,
was
I was
dropping.
comparing his workout regimen. I said that Floyd was naturally a better athlete than Devin, but if Devin keeps up his workout regimen the way he does, it'll be like a Kobe Bryant and a Michael Jordan dynamic. Because Kobe wasn't as athletic as Jordan, but Kobe got damn close because he worked out so much. So I don't know. That wasn't really a post about Floyd. That post was more centered on Devin Haney. So now I'm going to ask you to provide another example of me glazing Floyd Mayweather.
Let's see. You putting me on the spot. I'm not hating. I'm just seeing what I'm.
No. I'm not. Listen.
What's up?
This is an intellectual space.
For sure.
This is not me attacking you. This is not you attacking me.
Yeah.
This is an intellectual space. You know what I mean? We men. So when we speak,
Exactly.
we can't really speak from our heart or from our corazon. I don't know if you speak Spanish, but we can't speak from our corazon. We got to use our brain, and we have to say and prove what we say. Right now in America, we're in an environment where a motherfucker can hear somebody make a statement or a claim, and they believe it as truth without wanting to prove anything. You know why they do that? Because that gives power to emotional beings. I'm not an emotional being.
Yeah, I was
So
gonna
when you
say like.
speak, I need you to support your words with facts and evidence. Your first point, I just tore it up. So I need you to come with another example of me glazing Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
If you don't mind, my good sir.
Yeah, I'm not talking off of feeling. I'm just here to talk. But yeah, basically my point is like you bring up Floyd as like a fighter that's like he was a picture perfect fighter, which I don't blame that you say that. He's very like
Floyd was the
said
most
Floyd
recent
was
GOAT. That's
a
really
very
why he
perfect
gets
fighter.
brought up like that.
he's
He's
very
the most
special to
recent GOAT.
watch. But
Have you ever heard? No, Floyd wasn't perfect. Floyd had that shoulder roll has flaws. Maidana exposed some of the flaws in the shoulder roll. I
what
would
I'm trying.
say that there are fighters that could have beat Floyd in one fight. One fighter that I think that could have beat Floyd in one fight is Sugar Ray Robinson.
Yeah, well, what I'm saying is
What
like
about
he's a great fighter, but what I'm saying is like in terms of the politics that he bring to the sport, he doesn't want to fight fighters. He doesn't really like he especially with Tank. What he's done with Tank, you could just tell he's taking Tank's career in a direction where he doesn't want to fight. Like I saw a clip from him. He doesn't want to fight Lomachenko. He says he'll fight easier fights and making just as much money. He said that as in a quote in one of his videos. And what my point really is like he's kind of changed the way boxing is, and it's really made it worse for the sport. You know, these
Yeah,
guys are.
Stephen Curry changed the way that basketball was played. So when you're transformative as an athlete, you change everything, and it takes time for things to gain balance again. That's a part of life. So when you great and you come and you have a innovative way of doing something, you change the dynamics, and everyone tries to copy you, and it ruins the sport. It's happened in basketball. Floyd isn't the first person to do it. So
Well,
hey, that's just what it is, man.
what you mean by like Steph Curry changed like from shooting from three point?
Everybody is trying to shoot threes in the NBA because of Stephen Wardell Curry. You understand? So the NBA game is ugly right now, more ugly than it's ever been. It's basic as hell. You're either driving or you're kicking to shoot a three, and that's because of Stephen Curry, because of the dominance he was able to show from the point guard position, winning all of those chips. He's not even that tall. So he was transformative. Floyd has done the same thing. He's made boxing so much more about the marketing, the business, and making big fights. So everyone is trying to copy the blueprint which he laid, but they're not Floyd Mayweather. What does that mean? That means the sport is going to suffer. Basketball is suffering for the same reason. All you're saying really is that Floyd was a bad motherfucker that changed everything, and it's going to take time for the boxing to gain balance. Just like it's going to take time for the NBA to gain balance. That's what happens when someone is transformative. So, do you have another point?
Yeah, I can see what you mean by like, he was a bad like a good fighter, so good that he changed the sport. But what I'm saying is like when a fighter nowadays, like when they want to be like him, well, that's not really like what I meant. Yeah, you're right. Like a bad fighter, like a really good fighter in terms of like him changing the game. But what I really wanted to mean like is like he takes Tank and like fighters that are under his like wing. He's talking with Ryan Garcia. He likes to, he gives them quote unquote advice, and it's his advice from his perspective,
Right.
and it's
So,
and
so let me build off of that. Floyd gave Tank advice, right? And Tank Davis does has probably one of the worst resumes out of all of the most popular guys at lightweight. But
he has
Tank
a good
Davis is sitting. Hold
yes.
up, Tank Davis is sitting atop the pay per view numbers, top 10 pay per view numbers of all time. His name is etched in history. I believe him and Ryan is either fifth or sixth all time selling pay per view fights. So Floyd Mayweather is the one who gave him the advice and who got him towards all of that fucking money. So I don't understand how Floyd is giving him bad advice. Tank Davis is a prize
Yeah,
fighter.
yeah. Let me build off of that. So is that a good thing? What you just explained about
The
him?
Tank Davis and the Ryan Garcia fight was electric. It was one of the best events and greatest events that we've seen
Well,
in a while. Ryan Garcia didn't live up to his part because he couldn't make it the real war that it was supposed to be because he wasn't on that skill level. So he
you
got
think
dominated.
you
That was
think
more of a fail of Ryan than
right?
Floyd or
Okay,
Tank.
you think Tank will get 1 million pay-per-view buys in his next fight?
No, but I think Tank will get a million pay per view buys later on down the road,
But
and it depends on
what?
who he fights next. If
But
Tank were to
that's
fight somebody with a nice little fan base, if he was to fight, say they fucking put that anyway on some steroids or something, then
well.
Tank could get a million buys. So it depends on who the next opponent
So
is, but no, most likely not.
see, that's
And not,
well,
and neither will Ryan, by the way. Neither will Ryan.
that's what
It takes two to tango.
right, right. Let me just say something. That's the difference with what I'm trying to say. You're saying that's good advice from Floyd. What I'm saying is, okay, you just said he has one of the worst resumes. He fought a guy like Ryan, got 1 million pay-per-view buys. He doesn't want to fight any of the top competition. Like you said, one of the worst resumes. And that's why boxing is dying. That's why the sport is losing money because they
If
don't want to
boxing is
fight the guys that
dying,
they want to
listen,
see.
listen, listen. If boxing
And
is
that's because of
dying,
Floyd.
how did if boxing is dying, how did Tank and Ryan break pay-per-view records in an era of high-level piracy, an era where people are watch streaming? They're not even paying for the fights. If boxing is dying, Tank Davis is in one of the most driest eras where motherfuckers will tell you straight up, I'm going to this site, I'm going to that site, I ain't buying that shit. He was still able to break pay-per-view records. So how is it dying? The people have spoken. If you put a product in front of them that they give a damn about, they will still pay.
No, well, here's what I'm gonna say. Well, those two guys have a very big social media, and they clashed, and
Exactly.
it made
So
a
you know
big
what that
fight.
means? Do you know what that means? That means the other boxers, like the guys that people think are such great fighters, like Boots Ennis, Get your ass on TikTok, Instagram,
Yeah,
YouTube,
I
and
got it.
promote yourself. Just like Ali back in the day promoted himself. So these fighters, they lazy, and some of them, they truly don't believe in themselves as much as they want to act like they do. Because there's a difference between talking shit before a fight and being silent before a fight. It's totally different. Two types of different pressure.
That's a good fighter like Boots. Boots is he could be like literally the perfect person to advertise. You know, he has a great style.
Okay, so
His
why
style's
don't
attractive
If Boost is great, then why won't Boost just go ahead and start talking shit on TikTok?
because
Start
he's
talking shit on Instagram. Start talking
he,
shit on YouTube. That's where the tide is turning. So if the tide is turning that way, you got to go with the tide if you want to be a pay per view star. If Boost don't want to be a pay per view star and he just wants to be remembered as a great fighter, don't do none of that shit. But Ryan and Tank, they've shown everybody this is the social media era. You need to
here's
have your be on social media.
here's like a summary right now with what I'm saying. So if Tank goes ahead and wants to fight a guy like some goofy like Frank Martin that's like 60
No,
on
that's a great
PBC,
fight.
that's Devin Haney.
60.
He's
Frank Martin,
he's
younger than
not a
Tank.
goofy.
What the fuck?
He's not a goofy, but he's
He's
old.
younger than Tank.
How old is he?
He's younger than Tank is almost 30. Frank Martin is in his late 20s. He's younger than Tank.
I don't think so. I don't think
Somebody look
so.
that up. Hey, somebody in the chat, look
He's
up
35.
Frank Martin age and Tank Davis age.
I think Frank Martin's 35. I mean,
30. All right. Okay, so now
I
you just talking.
I'm not talking. I
I'll
think so. I'm
Yo,
gonna
yeah,
find
Wickedy looked at Frank is
check it out. Hey,
27.
correct me if
He's
I'm wrong,
younger
man.
than
I'm not
Tank
trying.
Davis.
I'm just trying to make a point. I'm not trying to like
No, no,
start.
no, no. If you're gonna make a point, but be factual.
Well,
Frank Martin is younger than Tank Davis.
you don't know that for sure. I don't know that for sure.
Yes, motherfucker just said 27. 27. Or somebody saying they both the same age.
Well,
Frank 29, Tank 29.
I'm probably mixing up another fighter that's like old of age that he wants to fight. But okay, Frank Martin, not a really big, like Devin Haney is not that big either. But that's the fight people want to see. That's not the fight that people want to see. So if he fights a guy like Frank
Frank is
Martin and that's Devin
29.
Haney, that's the problem with this sport, and that's probably the advice Floyd Mayweather
First
is
off,
giving
if
him.
Tank fight Frank Martin, it'd be great for the sport because Frank Martin will be the first fast American black fighter that Tank has fought to date. Most of Tank's wins has come against flat-footed Hispanic and Mexican fighters. So in order for us to see whether or not Tank can truly cut out the ring against all opponents, he has to fight another black man with fast feet, another black man that can tap dance like Sammy Davis Jr.
But
We need to see him fight somebody that know how to do the James Brown, the mashed potato,
you're going too
not
deep
just flat.
into it. I mean, what that what you just said is true. Yeah, most of his highlight reels are just some, Hispanic dudes that are like, getting cooked by him in the ring. Yeah, for sure. But when you're saying like, oh, Frank Martin's gonna be the first black fighter that with good footwork, that's gonna fight Tank, that's good for boxing. The average fan's not gonna think of it like that. They don't think of race like that. They're not. That's That's a
Listen.
diverse opponent.
The average fan, they're gonna watch Tank no matter who he fights because Tank is knocking people out.
That's true, and that's what he's trying to take advantage of. He's trying to take advantage of fighting nobody, not nobody's, but the lower, not less known opponents with the same amount of money.
Listen,
Same with Tank does.
do you think Mike Tyson had a great career? Do you think Mike Tyson had a great career?
I think so.
Right, Mike Tyson is on the pay-per-view all-time list multiple times. Do you know Mike Tyson lost all of his step-up fights? Whenever he stepped up in competition, he lost. Tank Davis, all he has to do in order for him to be better than Tyson, because he's on that Mike Tyson roll right now. Mike Tyson has a bunch of tomato cans on his resume, but whenever he stepped up in competition, he lost. All Tank Davis has to do is step up in competition and win. But Tank Davis is like the modern-day Mike Tyson when it comes to his marketing. People are watching him to see knockouts. They don't give a fuck if he knocking out someone's grandmother.
Yeah, well,
They want to see that boy get the knockout.
yeah, well,
As if Tank
what?
can step up
Yeah,
and beat Devin Haney, Shakur, and
sure.
all those guys, he will be better than Mike Tyson. And Mike Tyson is respected all across the world. And Floyd Mayweather will have been the conductor of his career.
Okay, well, the one thing different about Mike Tyson and Tank is if you even spoke about Tyson's name, he'd want to fight you right away. Tank is the complete opposite. We have Twitter nowadays. All he has to do is just start spamming some bullshit up to some British fighter instead of the fights that we actually want to see, and just fight nobody else. Like what I'm saying is Tyson would fight anybody that calls him out. He didn't duck anybody. So what you're saying, if
Exactly.
he
Somebody
lost,
said, what about Foreman? Foreman came back and Tyson didn't want no parts of Foreman.
both of them are pay-per-view attractions, but we can tell who who's, we can tell nowadays, like, comparison to each other, who is more of a, I'm not gonna say Doug, but like who's more intimidated about taking a risk. We know for sure
Right now,
Tyson's different.
listen, we're in the post Floyd Mayweather era, so taking a loss means more than it has ever meant.
But why though? That's the problem with the sport. Why? We
Yes, now
can't.
I agree. That is a problem with the sport, but that's because a lot of these promoters, they don't know how to market the sport. And that's what my job is. I have to teach the world step by step how to accept that, guess what? Superman can take a loss. Just because you worship a lot of these athletes, that doesn't mean that they can't take a loss. And in particular, the black fighters could take a loss and come back, and you could still go and support them. So that's my job, because I can't wait on Top Rank or PBC or none of these other companies. They doing a horrible job of teaching the fans. The fans right now in America have the lowest boxing IQ that they've ever had. The lowest boxing IQ that they've ever had,
Yeah,
because
that's like
they're growing up watching football and basketball. What does that mean? That means it's time for us to go WWE. It's time for us to market the fighters, especially the quiet fighters who really can't market themselves. It's time for us to market them. We got AI. You could tell storylines. You know what I mean? Get these guys out there, do other shit. The storylines got to be fake sometimes. It can't always just be y'all allowing two guys to go out there and talk. Y'all might have to stage some of the press conferences, because the shit that y'all doing now not working. You have to
yeah.
build up characters that people are interested in order to follow. Because
That's
people,
what.
they're not growing up wanting to watch boxing or wanting to become boxers. It's all about football
Yeah.
and basketball.
I'm gonna bounce off one of your points. Like, yeah, there's I don't know how to word it, and not a narrative, but like a thing where it goes on in boxing. They're scared to take a loss. Like, if you take a loss, the viewers as well, they look at you as like a person that they're not going to be as interested in anymore.
Yeah.
In
I mean, but
UFC,
at the end of the day,
they'll fight and they'll lose and they'll still be loved because they put the fight that people want to see. And I know what you're gonna
yeah.
say. You're gonna say, "Oh, it's in one organization," but
No,
in
you're right.
boxing, if you take one loss, the boxers themselves think, "Oh, my career is almost over," because of one loss, the one on their record. There's people in the
Yeah.
UFC that have 10 on their record, and they still get views. They
But
still
the
get
UFC
money.
is ran by one man. He's Caucasian. I don't know if you noticed this or not, but when you get behind that white boy, you got protection. So if you're a black man and you belong to one of these Caucasian organizations, there are people that have committed felonies and they have not served no jail time. So Dana White, his fighters, they have protection and they get respected in the media. If you just a regular black man, you sign with top rank. Bob Arum not gonna provide no protection for you. He don't give a damn about you. He's there to use you. So it's just different.
How do you get protected though? John Jones hit a pregnant lady. Is he protected? Is he protected?
Yeah, because John Jones is still able to come back and fight. There's
But
people whose
Tank
career
doesn't
would have
Tank
been,
beat
there's
his
people whose
wife?
career would have been over. John Jones could have been put in jail for years.
What are you guys
Hasn't
talking
Tank
Mike
about?
been
Tyson
charged
served
by so
Mike
many
Tyson
things and
served
still gets
years in
fights?
jail because of an allegation.
Oh
So
yeah,
it all depends
that's
on
a
it all
serious
depends on
right there.
huh?
KG,
That's an
what's going on? Why
allegation
did you bring
against
up
Mike
John
Tyson.
Jones?
Oh, because somebody he brought up John Jones, but yo, Taxmatic, say something else, bro, and I'm gonna block your ass. Hold up, y'all. I'm gonna get back to y'all. Taxmatic, say something else. Anything. Type dot. I'll be waiting. All right, go ahead, Marcos.
What are you
All
guys
right,
talking
peace out. I
about?
told you not to say nothing. Get your ass up out of here, boy. Sayonara.
Uh-huh.
All right, go ahead, Marcos.
What are you guys talking about tonight?
Oh, you talking about all type of shit because the MVP baby came up here,
Uh-huh.
said I was blazing Floyd, but he ain't had no real fucking facts and evidence.
Uh-huh.
You know I happen to have a very high
Oh, come
functioning
on now.
brain,
I
so I
was
picked apart every
Floyd,
last part of the argument.
Uh,
Floyd is in my top two. I was just pointing out people either overrate him or underrate him.
no.
That's all I'm saying.
Floyd is #1 fighter of all time. In terms of
That's
pure
debatable.
pure
That's
boxing
That's
debatable.
ability,
debatable.
Floyd
That's
is
your
#1.
opinion.
In my
I
personal
would say he's the
opinion.
most dynamic.
Hey, Soul Negro said John Jones is the best treated black fighter in the world. That may be true because John Jones has
That's fact.
showed that he's willing to support Dana White. He's willing to stand by that white boy. And when you do that,
Does Tank
it
get
provides
protected
a
or not?
covering for you. It provides a covering for you.
If John Jones was a boxing fighter, John Jones would not be like It's just the fact that Dana White gives John Jones so many passes. He got caught using steroids. He hit a lady that was pregnant and ran away. He's beat his wife. He's done a lot of horrible shit. But it's just the fact that Dana, I don't know what.
He has Dana's signature because listen, John Jones could fight, but at the end of the day, John Jones, he vouches for Dana. Like he doesn't go against the grain. Now
Mm-hmm.
Francis Ngannou, Dana White, he has nothing good to say about Francis because Francis said, "Pay me what you owe me, white boy." John Jones would never step out of line like that. John Jones don't care if Dana White is taking 100 million home while he's only taking home 8 million. He's okay with it. And that's how that and if you do that anywhere in life, like if you want a job and you're okay with getting paid less, if you're okay with getting talked down to, if you're okay with not being looked at as an equal, then guess what? These white people are gonna fuck with you because you know your place. And that's why John Jones get protection in the media. It don't matter what he do.
Okay, I understand what you're saying, but you're basically like, putting out a narrative where like, okay, yeah, obviously UFC fighters don't get paid as much as boxers. Sure, that's true. But what Dana White is doing, if the fighter themselves are fine with it and they're getting paid what they
Are the
feel is
fighters
fair,
fine with it or do you not have a choice? There's people out here that this is their only opportunity, man.
yeah, they
That's
might
like in
have a
Hollywood.
choice.
Do you think people are fine with getting on a casting couch in Hollywood? Some are, but some people they just looking at it like, bro, this is my only thing.
I don't want to sound effed up, but like if Dana White is not paying these fighters as much as boxers, like 30 million, 40 million, 50 million, and he's just settling down for like 1 million, 2 million, 500,000. I'd rather have that because if they get paid 30 million and they take a year off, like probably Jermell Charlo's gonna take a year off. He's not even fighting. I just guarantee it. I can just tell. I see
Listen.
where it
I
goes.
agree with you, but listen, all boxing needs is rules and regulations. Boxing needs penalties. And you know how you can make these
Yeah,
boxers fight?
penalties. Okay,
You know how
yeah.
you, you know
If
how
they
you can
don't
make the
fight
boxers
within
fight?
6 months, they get
Fine
still
them. Fine their ass. Like if a
fine
person
them. Yeah,
isn't proven to be
yeah.
injured, they should have to pay fines. $500,000 fines. Okay, so you don't want to fight your mandatory? Cool. We not only are we going to strip you, but you have to pay a fine of $500,000. I bet you these motherfuckers be fighting. They be fighting until they want to retire because nobody wants to lose money.
Yeah, well,
This shit is easy.
Or get
I'm be
better.
honest with you. You know why boxing suck? You know why a lot of things in the world really suck? There's not enough black men running shit. Y'all, you see how I'm coming up with all these solutions? This is what we need
you
to
know,
happen. We need
I think,
whoever is running shit right now, get out of the way.
yeah, I
They'll
think
step
one of
down
the
and
worst
resign
things,
and let me run this shit.
I think one of the worst things about these like sanctioning bodies, like I think that one of the worst things about boxing is the sanctioning bodies because they do have some bias, some racial bias for sure. Like the WBC, they're
There will
definitely
always be
biased.
racial bias. I don't care about the racial bias. At the end of the day, all you need to do is start finding these motherfuckers. If you find the people like, and not even just the boxers, the
Like
organizations have to get somebody to check them as well. If people have to pay fines for
they don't even
shady
strip
business
them.
practices or for not forcing a fighter like Canelo, he could sit on the belts, he could duck mandatories. Every time you duck a mandatory, $500,000 fine.
They
I
don't. They
bet you
don't
they'll
even
fight.
strip them though
Motherfuckers will
either.
fight.
Like that's even worse. Like they don't. Like you think they strip a fighter if they don't fight for a whole year or two? They don't. Like what's that guy Jermall doing with that belt?
Yeah,
What is he
Jamal, he
doing?
should have been stripped.
Jermall, the older one. Like what is he
Yeah,
doing?
Jamal, yeah. He took
I
two
don't.
and a half years off for personal reasons. At the end of the day, life
It,
goes on, man. We all go through shit. So if you still physically able, you might well get your ass
I
up in
was
there.
I was genuinely confused. Like why does he still have that belt? But I guess he bring up that the WBC understood his situation. They just made
Yo,
the division
KG,
suck. So they just they just let it
KG.
happen.
Yo, what's good?
Yo, I was wondering, what do you think Canelo Alvarez is going to announce tomorrow?
Man, Canelo fuck around, might get up there and say, you know, Canelo might go up with the microphone and say, I've been thinking, David Benavidez, I don't think that I could beat him, so I'm gonna go ahead and call it a career.
You think?
He's
Canelo gonna hang it up, bro. He gonna tell him like, listen, they try to make me fight David. I'm not never gonna fight him. So if that's the case that PBC trying to make me fight David,
KJ.
I'm gonna leave PBC. I'm gonna leave all this money on the table and I'm gonna go to the zone and fight Jaime Munguia. Al Heyman
KJ,
and Floyd are trying to set a trap for
Wait,
me and make me
so
fight
you
David
think
Benavidez. I
you
told
think
him
KJ.
I
he's
had no intention of fighting him when I came over here.
you
So
think
I'm
he's
out.
going to the
I'm not
zone?
fighting the last 2 fights of PBC. Fuck that.
You you think he's going to the zone or retiring?
He probably gonna go to the zone.
I mean, I don't
I
think
mean,
he
if he
retired.
retires, listen. Canelo had a great career. It'll be good for boxing. He's been holding up the super middleweight division, holding on to all those belts, and not trying to make fights against top tier opposition. So it'll be great. It'll give David a chance to become undisputed like he wants to, and then he can go up to light heavyweight. It'll give David Morella a chance to start fighting for belts and shit. It'll help out all of those guys.
I
You
don't
know what I
think
mean?
I don't think he retired just based off like his last performance. Not performance, well, what he thought of his own performance. He was very confident, you know? He thought nobody could beat this Canelo. Unless something crazy happened to him, some injury, he got diagnosed with something that we don't know about and he announces it, yeah, he could retire, but probably he's just gonna leave PBC.
He gonna leave PBC, bro.
But I mean, he's not under contract. I mean, how easy can that be for him?
He is under contract, but the contract had a way for him to get out. It said that if they didn't guarantee all his money, this is what I was reading on like Twitter or
Yeah.
something. I don't know. This they said if they didn't guarantee him all of his money, then he could leave. So they
PBC,
can't guarantee him the money.
people say PBC is the best promotion, but they're all right. I don't see it that way. If they don't have the money for Canelo, then honestly he can do what he
Somebody say, listen, if they say they don't have the money, not because they don't have the money, it's because they don't think he worth the money.
I don't. You don't think Al is like buzzing to keep Canelo on his promotion?
No, if Canelo don't want to fight Benavidez, what is his use? What use does he have? That's the only reason why Canelo probably thought that they was gonna give him Crawford, and they was like, no, we want you to fight Benavidez, and he was like, no, I no fight Benavidez, no, I leave.
Well,
When did Crawford spar Benavidez?
so you think
Never.
Tank?
That's Leo Martinez. But people were saying that if Crawford can't get Canelo, then he potentially could be fighting Benavidez. I thought that was ludicrous. So I made a whole live about it to talk about, like, I don't know where they got this shit from. I think it's crazy. It would be career suicide. But one thing we do know is that this man is out here sparring super middleweights. Leo Martinez is the guy in the picture. He's 16-0, 13 knockouts. So Crawford is he's going to be fighting a big boy soon.
Do you think Tank is officially bigger than Canelo as of like today?
Tank has to. They need to get Tank over in the UK again, or get Tank over in Asia, so he can get a more global audience. Canelo is a global audience.
Well, so are you saying Canelo does not make PBC money?
Canelo does make PBC money. What you mean?
So why would it matter so much to Al Heyman for him to fight Benavidez when he can fight any other fighter and make?
That's the biggest fight in the world. You will make
Same with
It literally is.
Tank, but they don't want to fight him. They don't want to fight each other.
No, listen, MVP, listen. If Canelo were to fight Benavidez, right?
I'd love
Benavidez knocks out Canelo. Now the PBC could make all type of money with Benavidez for the next 10 years because the torch has been passed. Oscar De La Hoya had to do with Floyd. Like that's how boxing goes. So if Canelo fights Benavidez, it's such a great investment for the future of the PBC. A lot is riding on that, but I don't think Canelo wants to give him that fight. I think Canelo knows that he could potentially get knocked out.
So you're basically saying PBC is preying on Canelo's downfall.
No,
That's
hell
what you
no, because
said.
Canelo has a chance. You act like this motherfucker don't got two hands and a hell of a chin. Canelo has a chance to beat David Benavidez and go down in history as the best Mexican fighter ever.
He can do that for sure, but you said PBC is hoping that he could pass the torch to a new fighter.
Course, because Canelo's old. That's business, bro. Every promotion, even in other sports, you wanna prepare the new thing because you have to. Canelo can't fight for another 10 years. Benavidez can. That's basic business. It's not even personal. It might be personal, but at the end of the day, it's not. Canelo is old, is on his way out. Benavidez is the young gun, and he's still on and popping.
I think
that gunpowder is hot and ready.
I think Canelo for sure. Obviously, he doesn't want to retire off a loss, but
yeah, and it's not gonna be a record. It's not like he's just gonna lose. If he fight Benavidez, he could potentially get stopped. That's embarrassing. He's already lost before, so he's okay with losing. His fans are okay with him losing.
But I don't think if he lost right now, considering he lost just like a couple of years ago, he obviously wants to go on like a good
But
a
wait,
good
you want to
run,
leave
good
on a high
streak.
note. That's facts. I agree with you.
You know, I'm
Hey,
saying
MVP,
basically right
baby.
now in his career, he doesn't want to risk a loss. Like maybe
Hey,
like
MVP,
a couple
baby.
years
I'm gonna
out.
tell you something, bro. I appreciate you coming up here, man, because you pushed out some great content with your questions and
Yep.
with your criticisms, man. I appreciate that.
Oh, for sure, man.
Mm-hmm.
You still want me to be on here, or like you want me to leave?
No, you can stay.
Oh,
Fuck.
I thought you were basically like saying, "Oh, we're about to get off of the live or something."
No,
Okay, good.
I'm about to come live in like 10 minutes though, but no, you
Yeah,
can
no,
stay. I
good.
was telling you, I appreciate you coming up here because
For sure,
you
for
helped
sure.
people live with a lot of your questions and shit. Even though, it seemed like I was getting in your ass, pause, but it seemed like I was
I'm
breaking
a
down all
fan
your
of the same
arguments.
sport as you, my man.
I appreciate everybody that come up here. Y'all always appreciate it. Your opinions, perspectives are appreciated.
Yeah, yeah, no problem, man. But yeah, basically with Canelo, you know, if Canelo like really doesn't want to fight Benavidez, and there is a way for him to get out of the contract, obviously he's probably gonna take advantage of it. Because if he truly goes to sleep at night, like I know we all can assume, but if he truly goes to sleep at night, like being scared of Benavidez and thinking about him and his stomach drops or some shit, then yeah, Munguia is an easy fucking fight for him.
Yeah, Munguia isn't as easy as you may think though. I broke down the Canelo versus Munguia fantasy matchup, and after watching Munguia against John Ryder, literally, if Munguia doesn't get knocked out, he would beat Canelo because he's much more offensive. He lets his hands go. He's a risk taker. So if he can go in there and not get knocked out, he could outpoint Canelo.
But
And he probably would, and he fights in a style whereas though they would be okay with giving him the victory. Like you can't really beat Canelo in the back like Lar. They're not gonna give you that.
it's a
Munguia can
hard, it's a
fight.
decent
He's
fight.
a tall fighter.
It's gonna be a difficult fight,
Yo,
but
yo,
it's a
KJ.
cherry pick in a way, no?
Yeah, what's up, female profile pic?
Wait, what we talking about today? I came late.
Man, we didn't talk about all type of shit. So go ahead, MVP. What was you saying?
I basically said, compared to a fighter like Benavidez or whoever they're providing on PBC, if he's gonna move and completely leave PBC and try to fight Munguia, it's a cherry pick in a way, no? Like it's gonna be a difficult fight, but
Yeah, it's a cherry pick, but Canelo is an all-time great. So if he wants to cherry pick at the end of his career, so be it. Only thing is, people who follow the sport, they're gonna call him
I
out,
got
and
a
they're gonna be like,
great
"Well,
question.
Canelo was great, but he didn't want to fight
I
Benavidez,"
got a great.
and they'll move on. It's not really that. It's not really that big a deal if he don't fight David. Like, I mean, it is
I
what it
think
is.
it's a
David
big deal.
Benavidez really is a light heavyweight. I just would like to see it because hey, it's great for boxing. I mean, it just Canelo probably would get stopped, but that's just part of life, bro. The old lion out there in the Serengeti, old lion gets chewed up.
Listen,
The old lion who had all the
I got,
lionesses, the old lion who had all the prize, who had all the glory, who had all the
I got,
magnificence. At the end of his life, he gets chewed up,
I got
and that's what I want to see. I want to see Canelo get chewed up,
I
bro.
got a question.
No hating shit. I just want to see nature run its course with that motherfucker.
I got a question. It's gonna be
Yeah.
a question for the live as well. So back to basically not back to it, but do you think Tank is in a position where he should cherry pick?
No, hell no. If Tank cherry
I'm
picks, it'll
not.
ruin his career.
I'm
Tank
not
is at the
asking these
point
questions to
where he has to start fighting these other top names because he's a money man now. So people will start discrediting him if he don't fight Haney within the next 3 years or Shakur or Tio or none of these guys in the next 3 years. People are gonna start discrediting him, and you won't see a dip in his pay-per-view sales. So he
Isn't
has to be fighting
isn't
top competition back to back to back to back, like how Floyd was doing when he
isn't
became the man.
isn't that insane though? Like Lomachenko, Teofimo, Devin Haney, uh, even like Kambosos, I guess. All these guys fight each other, and Tank hasn't fought one. That is just insane. I know you. I know you're not like a big Tank fan. Like, I know you're honest. I hear you. Like you're honest. You call a spade pretty much. If you see,
I said, do you think Ben is a good fight for Tank? Yes. Connor Ben is a great fight for Tank, not a good fight. Because Ben is a bigger guy than Tank, so it's going to be a challenge for Tank whether he thinks so or not. And also because Ben has a UK audience, so Tank is going to be going global. And also it's going to be a fight that gets him ready for 140 because he's going to have to migrate to 140 because that's what all his competitors, that's what all of his contemporaries have migrated.
you think that fight will be at 140 though?
No, I think it's going to probably be at welter. I
Really?
don't think that Ben is gonna come all the way down to 140.
I don't think the fight will happen if it's at
Yeah,
welter.
the fight probably not gonna happen. I mean, I seen I seen Eddie Hearn crying about how like Tank and them aren't responding no more with a counter offer or some
The
shit.
last
Because
the last thing
Eddie thought
Tank
that
would
was
do
gonna be a
is
good fight, but now it looks like it's not gonna metastasize.
if Tank somehow in a crazy world fought Conor Ben at 147, that just shows a really lot about him because he doesn't want to fight Devin at 140, which is crazy.
That's what I'm saying. But that also Conor Ben could prepare Tank for Devin Haney. So it's like I don't know. It just looks at how you want to look at it.
I heard
Conor is not as tall as Devin.
I heard a
Conor has
rumor
weight, but
like
he's not. You know where closer to Tank's height. He's like 5'7".
you know
He
what?
don't have that, huh?
This is a very like probably like not true, but it could be. I don't know. What happened when Conor Ben finished this fight at the press conference? Who went up to him? Bill Haney, right, and started hugging him. He's like, "Oh man, what's up, man? We can make a fight if you want." You know, basically Bill Haney's calling him up for a fight, and I think that Tank heard that, and he's like, "You know what? I'm gonna jump in on this, and I'm gonna show you how much a fighter like Conor Ben will, beg and salivate over a fight for me." So he's just basically like just typing some shit up, saying,
I mean, that's a chess
"Oh."
move right there that you're talking about. That's the art of war right there. If that's true,
He's basically just like
he's basically showing Devin like, why you got to go beg people. Motherfuckers are begging me.
Yeah,
That's the
basically.
art of war. I don't know if that's true, but that's a great observation.
If the
If it
fight
is true.
doesn't happen, then it's probably most likely true. I mean, like, why else would he say these things? Conor Ben is literally saying, "Are you gonna be a man of your word?" He has to specifically say that because he knows fighters like these, like guys like Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, and Tank, like these guys, like won't, be a man of their word at the end of the day because a fight will fall out or like,
Bro,
"Hey, what's up?"
I low key thought Tank was gonna wait for the Pitbull and Rolly fight. Like I thought he was gonna fight the winner of that, and then all of a sudden Conor Ben talks came around, and now I'm
No,
like,
it don't matter. Listen, even if Tank gets a fight, and all it's gonna do is prepare him to fight, because people are really gonna take a little bit of time off after that fight. So Tank could get a fight right after that, and then fight whoever wins that at the end of the year. Still,
bro, I just really just want to see Devin and Tank this year. Like it should have happened.
Like
I
every
know
time
if it
that
was
you
back
see
in the day, they would have fought 3 times already.
like
But yeah,
what I see, like the mentality of like a guy like Devin, when people ask him, "You want to fight Tank?" I think he really wants to make that fight happen. Obviously, the
he
money,
didn't want to fight everybody. You could tell. The
for
motherfucker
sure.
was calling Lomachenko out
And
4 years
I'm
before he
sorry,
fought
but
him.
I just can't think the same for Tank. I just can't. When somebody asks him about Haney, I guarantee you in his head he's just like, "Yeah, I could fight him if I want to," but it's like, nah, I don't have to. Maybe too much risk. I can fight anybody else I want. He's the face of boxing right now. He has 1 million views, 1 million pay-per-view buys, so he acts like he has to act a little cocky. He's the man right now, so he really doesn't have to fight him. With
I
Devin,
just don't want
he
Tank to
wants
fight
to
Devin if he
fight the fans
lost.
want. Plus the money, of course.
After Tank said he was Muslim, I seen hood dudes posting saying they Muslim.
That's
Somebody
crazy.
said that in the chat, and they thought that was funny. I don't know, but look, all I know is this: I'm about to get the fuck up out of here. Saya, female profile pic, Riggs React, famous boxing, MVP baby, and Wickedy. Thanks for coming up here. Thanks for help pushing the live, man. We talked about a myriad of topics today. We was not on topic on subject at all, but we still got some great points across. So thank y'all. Y'all have a great night, man. I'm about to take my ass to bed.
You too, man.
Thank you.